What's going on, everyone? So the Lakers officially acquired Spencer Dinwiddie yesterday, and that is a huge pickup, right? This is a real, true, versatile style guard that can play multiple positions. He's got good size at 6'5", 215 pounds. You can play him at the point, you can play him at the two. Certain matchups, you could even get away and play with him at the three. This is a guy that can play both sides of the basketball. He's been rough this year, don't get me wrong. A lot of it has just been, he's a guy that basically checked out in Brooklyn. He was done, relationship was burnt, everything was done. I don't really like guys that do that, which is one of the reasons I was like, I don't want the Lakers to trade for Spencer Dinwiddie, because it's like, yes, he might not do that with the Lakers, but do you really want to give up a bunch of assets for a guy that, like, it's like, what will it take for that to happen with you? And now you're kind of up creek without a paddle. It's not good. But to get him on a vet minimum is steal is an understatement. Talk about a legit 17-6 guy that can make plays for himself and others, that can be a legit 3-level scorer when he's on and he's cooking, and a guy that has had some real success in this league. A guy that is a true starter level talent in this league. And I believe he is going to be excellent for the Lakers because, one, he's going to be in a situation that's better. Two, he's going to be playing for a team that he grew up cheering for, idolizing, and dreaming to be a part of. Three, he's a guy that has dreamed, grew up, and idolized Kobe Bryant, as we all did growing up. Like, he's in the situation that he has always dreamt and fantasized of. You don't think when he puts on that Laker jersey, he's going to be like, here it is. And that is contagious. So what I want to talk about in this video specifically is kind of Spencer Dinwiddie's impact, because I do think he is a real needle mover. I don't think it's a needle mover in the sense of like all of a sudden the Lakers are the best team in the league. I don't think it's something like that. But I do think he is a guy that can be a real impact. This is a guy that not that long ago, the Lakers wanted badly and were considering trading D'Lo for. And many fans and people and basketball minds were like, that's a great idea. He's an upgrade over D'Lo. And it probably would have cost us 2 or 3 seconds at the least. And we got him for nothing. That is huge. That is definitely an impact player. But to what extent? Right? Because again, like, he's having a rough season. But a couple things first, before we dive into like his specifics, is one of the big things that is good about him is he is Gabe Vincent insurance, right? Gabe Vincent is expected to be back early to mid-March, but there was even reports recently where he may not. And I don't believe the Lakers are going to rush him back. And there's also the concerns that even if he does come back, one, he could get re-injured or re-aggravate his injury. He's coming off of surgery. And secondly, what does he look like when he comes back? Does it take him a while to kind of get his legs back underneath him? Is he just kind of like a shell of himself right now because, you know, he hasn't played pretty much all season. He's only played 5 games. This gives the Lakers that insurance, but also if he does come back, then our 4 guards are excellent. Right? Because you're talking D'Lo, Reeves, Gabe Vincent, and Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, you're talking about Gabe Vincent, who was a starting point guard and excellent on the Miami Heat finals team. Talking about D'Lo and Reeves, who were your starting backcourt on the Western Conference team. And then you're talking Spencer Dinwiddie, who most of his career has been a starting level guard, whether it's been at the point or the 2. So that is huge and would be very good for the Lakers. You got versatility there. You got playmaking, you got scoring, you got shooting. You got guys that can just go get buckets, right? Like, Lakers would be in very good shape in that regard. So that is probably one of the biggest things, is it gives you either A, that insurance, or B, it gives you just a guy to slot, whether he starts or come off the bench. Again, personally, I would bring Spencer Dinwiddie in as a starter. Not immediately. I'm not saying like we play Detroit and he starts. Not saying that has to happen. Let him earn it a little bit. Let him show like, hey, okay, like he's worth it. But also, I just think you kind of want to get him acclimated. You kind of want to get him adjusted. You want to kind of give him time to ease into it. You don't want to just throw him into the Wolves immediately where he just doesn't have an understanding of like the team. He does have chemistry with a lot of guys. D'Lo, Torian Prince, Rui Hachimura, Christian Wood. Like, so that's good that there's a relationship there with a lot of guys. So he's going to have some of that chemistry with rotation players. But just in general, right? I think you give it at least a handful of games before you actually insert him into the starting lineup. But even if he comes off the bench, I'm okay with it. I just like him as a player, period. Now, getting into him specifically, if we get Dallas Spencer Dinwiddie, then the Lakers are going to be very good. Because he had arguably his most efficient season of his career with Luka, playing alongside Luka. He had years that he scored more points. So he had 1 year. It was his second highest point total where he averaged 17.7 points. His highest point total was in 2019-2020 with the Brooklyn Nets, in which he averaged 20.6 points. But he wasn't as efficient, especially from three-point range. He only shot, will be nice and say 31% from three that season. With Dallas last year, he averaged 17.5 points, as I mentioned. He also averaged 5 assists, 1 steal, half a block, 3 rebounds. He shot 82% from the foul line on 4 attempts per game. He had an EFG of 55.5%. He shot 50.5% to be exact, from 2-point range on 6.7 attempts, and shot 40.5% from 3-point range on 6.4 attempts. If we get that, Spencer Dinwiddie, Lakers are going to be in excellent shape. And I think it's more likely that we do than we don't. A lot of the reason he had that success is because he was playing alongside Luka. And Luka just draws so much attention. And Spencer Dinwiddie, where teams like Brooklyn or Washington and even like Detroit earlier, like he was like the guy, or like one of like the 2 or 3 guys, right? Where Luka just draws so much attention. Dinwiddie was getting looks and opportunities and getting a lot more just one-on-one situations than he was accustomed to on other places, and he dominated those matchups. Imagine what he's going to be able to do playing alongside LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and then even guys like D'Angelo Russell, who he's played with and has familiarity with, but D'Lo's ability to draw the defense, make plays, and put guys in position to have success, right? Spencer Dinwiddie is going to have a easy time. He is going to get looks. In my opinion, he'll probably get looks that he didn't even get with Luka. He's going to get so many wide open shots. I mean, D'Lo and Reeves and Prince and all these guys, they are getting like a handful. I'm talking wide open. Like nobody around. There's no one else in the gym but them wide open on a regular basis. Every game, they're getting a handful of those looks. Spencer Dinwiddie, if he can knock down those shots when he gets those looks, is going to be excellent. His ability to be a threat when he has the ball in his hands, his ability to be a threat when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, his athleticism. Again, he's not some hyper athlete, but he's more athletic than all the other guards we have. And his ability to be a slasher, play off ball, move without the basketball, he's going to have a lot of success in that regard. And I just believe just being on the Lakers, just naturally, he's going to raise his production from what he was with Brooklyn. If you look at last year with Brooklyn, so like let's remove this year, right? Because again, he checked out this year, he was done. But if you look at last year with Brooklyn, in which he played 26 games for, he averaged 16.5 points, 9 assists, and 4 rebounds. He also averaged 1.1 steals and half a block, right? Now, his production went down a little bit, especially from 3-point range. From the foul line, he went from 82% to 80%, which isn't a huge drop-off. But he also went to the foul line more, which was good, almost a full time more. His EFG went from 55.5% to 46.5%. His 2-point percentage went from 50% to 48.8%, so basically 1% less, 1.5% less. But he also took 1.5 more attempts. So that could be why from 2-point range. But the real drop-off was from 3-point range, that's concerning. You don't want to see that. But he also took less of them But he went from 40.5% with Dallas to 30% with Brooklyn. Now, I know some people are going to be like, well, man, that's a huge drop-off. Well, he also wasn't playing alongside Luka, and he had to play point guard more, and they didn't have anybody that drew the attention like a Luka did. So him playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, let's say he's not 40%. Let's say he's 37%. He would be like our third best three-point shooter, right? I mean, technically fourth because LeBron's shooting like 40% this year. But his volume, his use, I mean, again, he's going to be great for the Lakers in my opinion. Look, I could be completely wrong. You could look back at this video, point it out, and go, hey, Tyler, you really dropped the ball. I don't think I will. I think this is one of those things where you're going to look at this video and go, man, Tyler called that one. Because I just think, I look at what, and I've watched this guy his whole career. And the years in which he's had the most success, there's been consensus. There's been other guys that have been able to draw attention away from him and allow him to either go one-on-one or get open opportunities. The Lakers are one of the best teams in the league at generating those. So you look at his track record and you look at when has he had the most success, it's always been when he hasn't had to be essentially the sole guy. Well, on the Lakers, he's going to be like the fifth, right? Seriously. Because even if he's like 20-9, like let's say 29-5, then he's the third best player, right? But he's never going to be more than that. Because you always are going to have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So at best for him, he's going to be the third guy. More likely than not, he's going to be the fourth or fifth behind D'Lo or Reeves. So he's going to have opportunities like he hasn't had. He's going to get moments like he hasn't had. He's going to have freedoms like he hasn't had. And on top of that, you add in that he's going to be highly motivated. He's pumped. He's excited. He's playing for his dream team. He's playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who he's idolized and wanted to play with. And he's a kid in a candy store right now. And that's going to translate. And that's also going to be extremely infectious. We saw what Jared Vanderbilt's impact was. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that Spencer Dinwiddie is the defender or the high motor energy guy that he is. But what was contagious was Jared Vanderbilt bringing it 110% game in and game out, bled over into the other guys. And you don't think Spencer Dinwiddie coming in and just, cheek to cheek with just joy and him wanting to prove something wearing the Laker jersey, wanting to prove to the Nets and Toronto and all you don't think he's going to want to, he's a competitor. And now he's in a Laker jersey. This guy is going to be ready and he is going to be pumped. And I fully believe he is going to put on a show for the Lakers. I'm not saying he's going to be a 30 and, I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star, superstar, anything like that. But I think he will be at least maybe like a 15-4-4 guy, which the Lakers could use desperately. But also what he does is he takes so much pressure off of everybody else. Because you know what you're going to get from LeBron and AD. But the real question all season has been, who is the other guy? Who is that third guy? Now, for the last month and a half, 2 months, it's been D'Lo, by far. It's averaging 28 a game. The guy's been ridiculous. But you've seen games where it's Reeves, right? You've also seen games where both D'Lo and Reeves are bad. There's actually been more or as many games like that as there have been where they both have been great. Adding Spencer Dinwiddie takes pressure off of that. Because on any given night, he could be the third guy. On most nights, he could be the fourth guy, right? But it just gives you another guy where it's like, okay, as long as one of those three is the clear-cut third guy, and it could change every night. It could be D'Lo 9 out of 10 games, or let's say 8 out of 10 games, and then Reeves 1 out of 10, and then Spencer Dinwiddie 1 out of 10. But as long as one of those three is the clear third guy, and the other one of those three is the clear fourth guy, the Lakers are going to win a lot of games. A lot more games than they lose. Because that's the problem. It's like, yeah, you get LeBron James and Anthony Davis. D'Lo will go give you 28. And it's like Reeves gives you 9. Rui gives you 9. Wood gives you 6. It's like, more times than not, the games that the Lakers win, they have 4, 5, 6 guys in double figures. Lakers just got another guy that is going to give you more games than not double figures. Lakers are going to be better. And I'm pumped and excited. I think he's going to have a bigger impact than some people might think. Genuinely. But we'll see. Time will tell. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think his impact will be? Do you think it'll be huge? Do you think it'll be marginal? Do you think it'll be, somewhere in between? Do you agree with my points, disagree with my points? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.